Hi there, here I am at Woking's first green, and I thought I'd do a little bit today to help those who really struggle with chipping the golf ball. It's a very simple discipline that you can get very good at, and it makes a massive difference to your ability to score. What I'd like to do is relate your chipping action to your long putting action. In essence, they can be exactly the same. If I was to ask you to make a long putt from the fringe, if the grass was short enough, I don't think any of you would have a problem with that, because your putting stroke would hold up, there'd be little or no wrist hinge, and because you're being asked to propel the ball along the ground only, there's no expectation of loft or how to achieve loft to get the ball to go towards the target. And this is the same principle we can use with any club in the bag. It is the business of the club and the loft that the manufacturers have put on it here which determines what trajectory the ball leaves the club face at. When it's flat, we don't have any mental issues with that. We can see the ball rolling along the ground. When it's lofted or laid back, somehow a lot of golfers think that they are responsible for doing something very, very different and complicated to get the ball to go in the air. So I'm just going to show you a little practice you can do to get used to using the loft on your club to work for you and make your chipping something that's pretty solid and you can rely on and help you score better. So here we are with the putting technique. Everyone each to their own, but roughly speaking, we have the ball centrally or just forward of centre here. We pretty much lock our wrists when we're putting from the edge of the green here, and we'll move the whole triangle formed by my arms here and my shoulders. We'll move it as one to propel the putter head. You'll see on the way back the putter comes off the ground automatically, where it goes back down to the golf ball and then rises on the other side. This is nothing special that I'm doing, it's purely because we're working the club on a radius of which the bottom of your neck is around roughly the centre. So if we're asked to putt from the fringe, we don't have a problem with that. We can just set the ball into our normal putting position, have a look at the target, and none of us have a problem really rolling that golf ball fairly successfully up pretty close to the target. Let's just use that same principle though when we go to use a different club. Here's my 5-iron, for example, not one that I chip with very often, but if it's a linksy course or a very, very long putt or long green I'm going up with a little bit of fringe to carry, I would easily use this. And you can see there's a difference in the length of shafts here. So in order to stand in the same position as I do for putting, which I'm going to ask you to do, I have to shorten the club. So from where you'd normally stand for 5-iron, we're going to grab the butt of the club, pull it up through our hand, and now it looks exactly the same as it did when I was actually putting. Okay, so achieve the same setup for any of these shots I'm about to show you as you would for putting. I want it to feel like a putt for you. So shortening the club, standing with the ball in the same position. You can even take your putting grip if that makes you feel as though it's more like a putt for you, and then just adopt your putting stroke as before. Okay, 5-iron's going to come off pretty hot, it won't be in the air for very long, but if we just make our putting stroke here, yeah, you can see that it was in the air for a little while, and it's a good alternative if you need a little bit more firepower than you get from a lofted club. Moving forward, I've got another club here, got the 8-iron, a little bit more loft. Some people use this one quite a lot for chipping around the greens. It makes sense to use a similar club most times because you get used to the trajectory and the power that you're going to need. Okay, so here's an 8-iron. Again, it's a bit longer than the putter, so instead of standing where I'd stand for a normal 8-iron, I'm going to grab the butt, make the club more upright, pull it closer to me. Now it looks like I've got a putter in my hand again. Again, I'm going to adopt my putting action. I'm going to have to lengthen my swing slightly, clearly, because a lot more of this energy is now going to be deflected into loft than it was with the 5-iron, but we soon get used to that through a bit of practice. I think the problem most people have with chipping who struggle with chipping is the quality of strike. They're trying to do something different. Make it into a putt. Okay. Let the loft do the work. Into my normal position for putting. Feel like I'm about to make a putt. Nice stiff wrists, and just go with a putting stroke. Okay, so in the air a little bit longer. Yeah, still inside a foot or two. We're going to tap that in and move on. And then probably the one that scares most chippers rigid is the sand wedge or lob wedge from around the green. Sometimes you have to play this if they're very fast greens, you've got a downhill position, or you need to loft the ball over some very long grass before it lands on the putting surface. Don't be scared of it, it's much more similar to your putter than some of the other irons that we've used there, and the length isn't too different. So again, we can adopt our putting stance, same distance from the ball, Same ball position here. Okay, we're only responsible for propelling the ball forwards. We're not responsible for getting it in the air. That's the job of the manufacturers of the club. Put it in the same position here and adopt your putting stroke. You see how similar all these strokes are looking, all these shots are looking. It's just my putting stroke. I'm going to have to swing a little bit further back this time, clearly, because at 56 degrees this ball's going to go a lot higher than all the others and obviously not roll on a little as much. Okay, so let's set up to this one. Let's have a nice putting stroke again. I feel like I've got a putter in my hand. Okay. Up it goes in the air. Doesn't roll quite as far as the others, but the quality of strike was never an issue. So get yourself around a green or the putting green at your club and have a practice with different clubs, but thinking all the time that you've got the same responsibility as a putter, just to propel the ball forwards, let the loft do the work for you. Okay, good luck, hope that helps, and I'll see you again soon.